we move on to the second session, and this is going to be on how to write effective case study. And we have Dr. T. Ramya today, and she is from the Commerce Department, Assistant Professor of Commerce. And to her credit, she has published nearly 15 articles in reputed journals, and Best Paper awardee is in one of the seminars in which she has presented a paper. And she is very much interested in updation of knowledge. And to her credit, she has attended nearly 62 programs to enhance her teaching methodology. And I think today she's going to give us a detailed study of the specific subject, and that is going to be case study and how to write an effective case study. And I don't know whether she's going to talk more on research or more on students-oriented case study. So let us watch what is happening now. Over to Dr. T. Ramya. Dr. T. Ramya?
Able to hear me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. My humble pranams to our Ambas. I extend my deep sense of gratitude to our esteemed Madam Principal and the Controller of Examinations, and my warm welcome to the faculty members of our institutions and the other institutions of our college. Good evening, one and all. Now, I just want to present my screen to take you to this concept of case study.
And Dr. Ramya?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you can take a long breath now. You needn't be very much tensed, yeah.
No, ma'am, nothing of that sort.
Okay. You can be a little bit cool, yeah. You can.
Yes, of course, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is the screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, very much.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I just want to discuss with you, I want to present you to the concept of case study. My topic here is how to write effective case study. I'm Dr. T. Ramya, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Sri Sharda College for Women, and the subject area of my interest is research. So I can give my own learning from this concept. Case study. This is actually about storytelling. Something would have happened. We would all be interested in knowing what has happened in a real life scenario. So when you are very specific to know about what has happened, you will be really interested in this concept of case study. So things happen everywhere around us. When something is happening unique or it is very interesting, there is a story to be told. What is this scenario, real life scenario? Everything happens in a usual way? No. Something happens in unusual form. If you feel some difference somewhere in an happening in an event around you, your surrounding, there is a reason, and that will be a subject of interest for your study because it is different. You identify the reason. There is a case to be studied. So this is the base where case studies come into existence. So when you identify something very different, you can give a complete picture of what has happened. You can go into details of what has happened, what is the reason behind it, and what are the factors that has influenced the happening of that particular event. So giving a complete picture of what is unique or what is different is case study. So this is all about case study and giving a precise meaning for the term case study. Here is a definition given. A case study is a research method and has described as an intensive systematic investigation of a single, individual, group, community, or some other unit in which the researcher examines in-depth data relating to several variables. So first we'll start with the term research method. We have so many research methods. We can adopt so many research methods, exploratory method and historic method. So one among that is case study. You are interested in research, you can adopt this method very well. And it is an intensive study and it is a systematic investigation. Intensive, going into deep. It's systematic, following a procedural manner. Of what? Of an individual. Your subject of case study can be an individual, a group, a community, or some other unit. So this in-depth study of a problem or event happened unusually, that is called case study, where we consider so many variables, so many causes of the event will be analyzed. So those causes which have led, what are the circumstances, what are the influencing factors, those are factors identifying the happening of that particular event is called a variable. So many variables can be considered. So this is a research concrete that can be given. Research concrete of this particular case study is contextual. Contextual in the sense giving the base of your study. You have to analyze what is about the problem and where it has happened and how it has happened in all the text of happening of a particular event. And it is called a systematic design in the sense it gives a deeper flow, a continuous flow, a proper procedure for conducting your case study research. And you can gain an in-depth knowledge when you're purely working for your case study. And you have to explore something in the sense like you want to know about the meanings, the characteristics of your case studies, and the implications of the case, the ways, the influencing factors of your case study. So you are doing a case study in an in-depth manner, exploring the meanings, characteristics, and the implications of the case. So the case study can be a single topic case study where you can take a complex case, you can make a single subject and learn it in depth. You are making it in a deeper manner. You are taking only one consideration because the topic of that study is so complex. But in some cases, you want to make comparison. You want to make a comparative study and you want to give a result in a multiple scenario. You can take out 2 or 3 case studies. You can illuminate a new figure. You can bring out with a new result that stating the best option or the best situation of happening of the particular event. So in that cases, multiple case studies can also be conducted. Then coming to the dimensions of case study. Dimensions are the aspects. So being a research method, we do research with real life situations, the problems, the issues that are in our life, what is happening in our day-to-day life. So that particular study, this case study is focusing on the real life situations. And we are very much contextual in this analysis where we take into consideration the do's and about what events have happened and why such events have happened, where it has happened, and how it has occurred. So in that sense, you can read a person, if a problem of a person, a group, event, location, or an organization. Any of the text contextual analysis can be done. And it can be as an applied exploratory tool. Exploration is getting into, deep into. So when you are in opinion of conducting a big research, this case study can help you in identifying a problem or giving a startup to your big project. So this can give you a clean structure of what is to be learned in that big project, which you have intended to learn. So this is an exploratory tool. So that gives you an in-depth study of a particular aspect. And it is also said to have a narrow approach. Narrow approach in the sense, the question what you are framing is it is filtered option of what is identified in a broad sense. You identify some problem in a broader sense and you want to get that particular solution for a specific problem you have identified. That can be done by taking out a manageable research question that will be framed from your review of literature. And with regard to the existing knowledge, this particular case study method adds some strength to the existing knowledge in the sense previous studies would have revealed something and we are adding up our own study result and we are giving some added knowledge to the existing field. So that is, it adds strength to the existing knowledge. And we are making a detailed investigation. So when we make something, when we are interested in knowing a depth investigation of something, we have to limit our events. You cannot focus on everything. So we just have a limited number of events for a detailed study. Then coming to the kinds of case studies, usually case studies can be differentiated on many bases, like the methods used, the tools used, and the presentation of data, the purpose of the study. So everything signifies or it determines the type of study you are undertaking. Normally speaking, there are two major types of studies. One is problem solving case studies. The other one is descriptive case studies. Problem solving case studies gives us a solution to the problem, and we identify some solution from the problem that has been completely analyzed in all perspectives. So we recommend a solution. So that is a problem solving case. We just take up that particular study to identify a solution to the problem. But in case of descriptive case studies, we try to understand a situation. In the sense, we just want to narrate what has happened. So we completely poke into the subject. We have a thorough analysis. We give a statement. That statement or the result of the study, like you don't give a suggestion, but we narrate everything. When you are narrating, that will help other people to know better about that particular event. So in that case, if the same problem persists to other person, if a person is facing the same problem, he can take a better decision with what has been learned from the experience of this particular case study. So we can learn from the experience of the other people, which is being depicted as a case study. That is a narrative or a descriptive case study. And this actual slide shows you how research problems lead to case studies. So when you are identifying your research problem, that can give you a base for your case study. In that particular research problem, you can focus a case study. First one, how can teachers implement active learning strategies in classrooms? So here you can take a local school and promote the active learning method. How the active learning method is being promoted there. You can identify that. Similarly, when viral marketing strategies of between consumers and companies relationship has to be identified, you can take any product and you can verify the marketing campaign of that particular product, and that can be a case study. And in countries like Indonesia, there is a problem of palm oil industries that is having an effect on deforestation and native rice. In that sense, the companies and the NGOs' expectation or the contribution to the society can be a case study. Similarly, a company which was a cloud storing company, it had a problem of communicating with its employees. So in that case, an effective communication strategy could be the subject of your case study. So in this scenario, we'll have a gist of what is a marketing campaign and what is solution for a problem existing because of industries. So all this put together, a case study is a recipe of problem, giving a solution, and analyzing the results that has been obtained. So this is all about case studies. So to put it in a precise manner, we can state case studies as choosing a subject, collecting the sources of information, gathering all data from all sources, whatever possible, and making an outline. The writing and editing part of the case study is very important, which could be proofread by an expert. Now, we have written a case study. You have formed a formal note of what is the procedure for case study. Now the presentation part is very important, because everything, even if it's cooked well, the presentation, that makes it special. So when you're presenting your case studies, it does no rigid norms, like it is always flexible, because there is no strict procedure of the case study method. So we can present in whatever style of writing that is used to us. But whatever may be the result, there should be a justification and there should be a supporting information. You have to justify what you have learned, and you have to provide some additional information also. So this case study report can be a standalone report. In the sense, one case study could be a complete report in a scenario. But similar in some other cases, when you want to have a bigger project, this case study can be one part of that particular bigger, larger project. Case study can be one aspect of your long project. And the different aspects of your case study can be introduction and justification, why you have chosen your problem, why you have chosen that particular topic and the content of that particular subject, and the methodology, the problem. These two aspects will be discussed in the next slide. Methodology and problem are so important. And the next aspect is steps taken to address the problem, what measures you have taken to identify the problem, and how you are going to present it, and the results, what you have obtained, the challenges have you met. And if you want to actually be very specific, when you take up a case study, you might have difficulties in identifying the data, identifying the source, identifying the method, identifying the tools, and everything might be a challenge. So everything will speak out or give out a prominent output. So challenges is in taking up the case study have to be identified, and that have to be noted. And sometimes we have to give results beyond your normal formal result note, because some results may not be so prominent in our text, but that may lead to or help to future research work. So you have to present your results beside additional information also be kept over in the results. And whatever lessons you have learned, what all you have an experience, everything can be put out in your case studies. So case studies, to be precise, it is a document containing information of the interviews, the field observations, and the statistical data, everything being analyzed and given as a written form. Now, coming to the problem and the methodology. When you speak about problem, you have to be very clear in identifying the problem about which you have to make a study. Why the problem is important? What are the facets of the problem? What are the dimensions? What are the aspects in which the problem can be approached? And what is the effectiveness in the process? Effectiveness in the sense, how effective the adopted process is to be helpful in identifying the solution. Coming to the methodology, the first methodology for all research work, we have to start up with a review of literature, because it gives a better understanding of the subject area. Previous study works, previous research works will give you a base of theory, and which helps you to form a question. You can pull out your questions from your review of literature. So first instance, you have to decide your number of literatures you have to work out with. And describing the process in the methodology is something about selecting a single case study or identifying a group of cases. And you have to decide about the data collection sources. You can collect data from people, from other instances through observation, question, and many methods. So you can identify even the previous newspaper reports can be source of your data. And the methods and instruments have to be identified. You have to be very specific about the methods and the instruments, the tools that can be used for collecting data. If you have made any assumptions, that could also be highlighted. If there is any limitations with the method, if you cannot apply this particular method to particular situation, that could also be highlighted, because that will be a source of information for the future research work. And the sample used in your study is very important. The number of sample from where it has been collected, and the period of data collection is also an important aspect to be considered in considering the methodology for your case studies. Coming to the effectiveness of case study. What is effectiveness? We all know doing the right things. You can put that in that particular aspect. So now we all have given an outline of case study, but to be very specific to the topic, we have to identify an effective case study. So effectiveness is the capability of producing the desired output. You want to know something, you are knowing something, that is your effectiveness. You're doing something, what is expected to be done, that is effectiveness. So writing case study is identifying the right solution to the problem. By analyzing the problem, you are giving a solution. The next slide shows you how to write or how to make your case studies effective. The first step is selecting a case. Choose a case. What is this case? The problem, the uniqueness, the reason, something about a person, some difference. So a good case study should have the potential to give new or unexpected insights, new knowledge, new experience, new theory. And it should be a challenging one to the existing assumptions or theories. and it should suggest some course of action, that is solution what you have derived, and the new directions for your future research. You want to go in a particular stream of work. What is your focus? What is your scope of study? What would be the future scope of study? So everything can be given as a in selecting a case, considered to be an important factor in selecting a case. And you have to focus on unusual, neglected, or outlying cases. We should not be usual. If you're special, you want to be special, take an unusual aspect. You are focusing on something unusual, you will be noted. So you want to highlight or you want to make your case study special, take some unusual, neglected, or outlying cases. The next one is building a theoretical framework. What is this theoretical framework? Giving a base theory. You have to collect data. We have already seen review of literature is the base for your startup. So when you are collecting so much of information or so much of knowledge from other people's work, you can very well build a theory. You can give establishment. You can state the relationship bit of all the variables, what influences what. So here for this, in this example, I have given one theoretical model which has been taken from all reviews. So here the change is occurring due to individual values, group values, and societal values in an individual, which is interrelated among itself. So by conducting a research literature review, you can identify the key concepts and the key areas of your theory. And this cannot be isolated from others, but it has to be integrated with your other theories. And in that manner, you can develop a theoretical framework indicating the relationship among the variables and the extent of such relationship. Then the third aspect is collecting the data. Collecting the data, you can use primary source and the secondary sources. Primary sources can be from interviews, observations. Interviews in the sense you are meeting people. In that case, you have to get the consent of the people about the purpose of the study and what information you have got. So whenever you are collecting information from people, it has to be noted like you are giving them an assurance that the information data collected will not be leaked out anywhere. It would be confidential, and that should be used only for the specific purpose for which it has been conducted or collected. And observations, observing people, make a note of what is happening. Simply sit and observe what is happening in a particular event, in a particular instance. So that is the primary source. And coming to the secondary source, we have newspaper articles. We have so many sources nowadays. Photographs are very essential, and official records, videos, everything are playing a predominant role in as a secondary source in the collection of data. Choosing an appropriate tool is very important and is an important strategy in making your case studies effective. The next one is the last step, describing and analyzing the case. Writing up the case studies all gives a relevant and a complete picture. It should give all information. Whatever you have collected, you have to put out. So it depends upon the research work. The presentation depends upon the nature of the type of research you have conducted. You can use methods, results, and discussions in a scientific research presentation. And you can also use a narrative style where all angles of your study have to be narrated. So when you are preparing a scientific paper, it should have all this in an introduction. It's a background, aims, approaches, challenges, what is the analysis made, what is the result, and what you have concluded. So this is all about describing and analyzing the case. And the next important part, why case study is important, why it is so relevant, and what is the significance. So this is the area describes you the application of case study, fields in which it is being used. It can be widely used in business, marketing, medicine, and education. It is also an important part of your academic writing nowadays. In decision making, you have to analyze an issue. This part is very important because case studies help in making decisions. Nowadays, all decisions are based on what is written or what has happened in past. So what is the issue? What is the goal? And what is the context of the problem? Context in the sense where, who, what, and when. And what factors you have to consider. Is that important or so significant or less significant? That is very essential in identifying the variables. And what alternatives are available to the decision maker? How can he make a pakka decision? And what would you recommend, your recommendation? So final analysis or any decisions you have to make only after making complete analysis of the alternatives. So when you are taking some case studies, that helps you to take clear and definite decisions. Coming to use of case studies in learning. Learning becomes effective or successful only when the content and the skills are relevant. You give the content, you give the skill, what is relevant. In that case, you are successful in giving the needed learning to the students. So this open-ended discussion about case studies, the solution will give the intention of the will give an intention that the students are connected to their real life. They are very much with their lives. So this is about developing skills. And you want to prepare your students for the jobs, give them case studies, ask them to work. They'll work in individuals or groups. And using this real world case studies, they can know how to solve a problem. And this case study is available for all age groups, in all streams, and for all interdisciplinary works. Coming to the next one, marketing area is also flooded with case studies, because in future everything will go, like all retail outlets will be fading, and we have one concept to be flourishing, and that is called personalized marketing. So when you want to survive in the market, you want to match the website's need. They'll be searching, you have to put the case study there, success story of consumers, success story of your marketers, their work. So in this perspective, marketers case studies and customer case studies are the two modes. Marketer, if he's telling his success story and attracting the customers, he's stating about the quality, utility, and marketing effectiveness, and that focuses on the company's success. That is marketer's case study. If the customer wants to state about this product, his satisfaction about the product, his buying journey, he wants to share the value and benefits. That is a customer case study, where this is a very important social proof for the company, and it is added benefit for the company. The company can become a market leader. So this is the importance of case study in marketing. Similarly, we have the significance of marketing in psychology and medicine also. Sigmund Freud is called the father of psychoanalysis. He is actually a neurologist. He has made a detailed investigation of patients' private lives. So he wants to understand the causes of the illness. And this case studies help the educationists to teach people in the field of medicine, especially in psychology, because they'll poke into what has happened, what is the reason for that psychological disorder in a particular person, what treatment he has undergone, how it has been identified, diagnosis of the problem, what treatment and its effectiveness. So videos and case studies with illustration can help the people in psychology. And coming to the advantages, it gives a great deal of information. It deals with rare and unusual cases. It helps in developing hypothesis assumptions, which will help in future research, in other research work. So any hypothesis can be framed with the base of the case studies. And it also eliminates potential bias. You need not presume something, need not work on some presumption. And it gives a broader research. Coming to the disadvantages, it can be too lengthy. In the sense, when the subject is too lengthy, you will not be attracted towards it. So sometimes case studies are too lengthy. And anyway, when you compare your quantitative research and qualitative research, always quantitative research has a higher weightage than qualitative research, because you are able to prove it. But qualitative research keeps on changing. The opinion of the customers change. The views, the beliefs change. So qualitative research is not so applicable. The results cannot be applicable universally. So qualitative research is the prime base of case study. But nowadays, even quantitative research to support the qualitative subject, we are using it in case studies to make it more powerful. So this is other drawback, and you cannot generalize this case for other. One case, it's specific, it's unique. You cannot generalize it for the other thing. And when we write a limitation for the research project, we usually mention that this cannot be generalized because the opinion may differ. So that is also a disadvantage of the case study method. And you cannot demonstrate the cause and effect like what we do in scientific methods. And here we can see the different research teaching resources that are available. The National Center, where you have lot and plenty of case studies and models of excellence, interdisciplinary journal, Tech Advocate. So when you are in the teaching field, you can very well use case studies to make people, your students think, analyze, and find a solution for the problem. That gives them lively working, and that will enhance their skills. So case studies are very powerful tools in today's educational field. So we can also write case studies and enhance our research, and also we can utilize this case studies to educate our students to increase their potential in their skills. And these are the sample case studies. I'll have to copy and paste this link. This is how a case study looks like. It should be more colorful, with all pictures, with all numbers. Numbers are very important because figures always speak the validity of your research. And this way you can make your case studies effective, highlighting all thing, and it has to be very short and sweet, to the point, and but it has to be very clear about what all aspects that have been analyzed. So this is a sample one, and I think I have ended up with my session with a thanking note. Hope I have made some of my learning in a simple and understandable manner.